Hi, it's Dwyer. It's January 28th, 2025. GamblersAdvisory.com, a free site. BettingAngle.us, a free site. Remember, the opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this video to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Now, let's talk about the Super Bowl, how I'm playing it. Understand. Kansas City delivered for us over Buffalo. They covered the point spread. They're back in the Super Bowl. Um, the Super Bowl is going to be played indoors where Pat Mahomes is dominant. Understand, Philadelphia, a team that I told you here online I thought was the best in the NFC, even when there was a higher ranked team than them. They looked dominant. They stopped the Jaden Daniels juggernaut. Daniels, to his credit, had over 250 passing yards, looked good, did throw a pick. Saquon Barkley takes over that game. Right? Philly, of course, gets to the Super Bowl, and even though, in my opinion, A.J. Brown is the best wide receiver on either team, Devontae Smith is the second best wide receiver on either team, Saquon Barkley is the best running back on either team, the Eagles, whose defense can match Kansas City's defense, are actually, as I make this video, a 1.5-point underdog in a game that's going to be played in an NFC stadium. Right? So just understand, there's a lot to talk about if you are going to bet on the Super Bowl. Let me just say, I'm on the sidelines. Right? I believe Philly's the better team. But I also believe that Pat Mahomes is scary. Right? I've personally lost to Pat Mahomes in multiple Super Bowls. Let me just say there was a Super Bowl between these two teams. I thought Philly was the better team. Philly had the better pass rush. Philly had the better defense that year. Pat Mahomes was injured. He was limping around. Philly was up big, could have been up more. There was a turnover that led to a touchdown in that game. We get to the second half. Right? Pat Mahomes is still limping. It's not like he suddenly got healthy. Real injury. He's down by double digits. Came back. Right? Last year, I had the 49ers. Brock Purdy takes them within field goal range. The Niners are up by 3. Pat Mahomes takes the field. He needs at least a field goal to keep the game going. There's a fourth down play on that drive. Mahomes converts. Seasonal play. Season on the line. Right? Kyle Shanahan would have a Super Bowl victory had they stopped Pat on that play. They couldn't. There came a time in that drive where you started to think, whoa, is Pat even going to allow the Niners back on the field? The answer was no. So let's talk about why I'm on the sidelines for this game. It's because Travis Kelce was controlled by the Buffalo Bills. And yet, Mahomes and company put up over 30 on them. It's because as you watch this game, certain pieces that had been out were now back on the field. The Chiefs looked rested. The defense still looked tough. And the Chiefs, of course, were offensively moving the ball. I spent a big portion of the 1980s watching Joe Montana throw the pass to what seemed to be wide open receivers. At the time, I didn't appreciate it. Now I realize it's a certain skill. That last first down Kansas City got, right? You understood that was a big play. You understood Kansas City, if they got the first down, could run out the clock. How does Pat Mahomes find a running back, Perrine, who is single covered? He's open to catch the pass. The only question is whether he's going to beat the defender to get to the first down. How was Pat Mahomes able to find him on that play? Well, it's because he's Pat Mahomes, right? The greats somehow are able to make success look easy. So I think Philly has the better team. Pat Mahomes scares the daylights out of me. So let me tell you what I did with the money I won on these conference championship games, right? If you're a gambler like me and you're just interested in beating the casino, making money, then a bet's a bet. You're not married to special games like the Super Bowl, right? You're married to betting opportunities. So I looked at the NBA, right? For those who are interested, right? For those who believe like I do in futures betting. You're getting some odds here on some teams that are damn good. I'm not saying these teams are the best in the league. What I am saying is it's January. These teams might be able to become the best in the league. And the odds are compelling. So I split my winnings between 3 plays. Now understand the futures thing. I want odds at this stage. So later, when my longer shot team is facing a consensus good team, right? They're facing, let's say, the OKC Thunder. I want to know that I got great odds on the Thunder's opponent. And I want to know that I could spread the wealth. I can bet more on the Thunder because I'm guaranteed the winner of the series. So in the Eastern Conference, I feel Boston's the best team in the conference. But right here in January, I got Cleveland at 6-1. Wrap it up, I'll take it. No need to put a bow on the package. Folks, if you haven't been following, the Cavaliers are one of the biggest stories of the NBA season. In the Western Conference, I feel that the best player in the league is still Joker, right? I'm not saying Denver's doing well at all, but let's just say those guys have rings on their finger. Those guys have rings on their finger. Joker is the kind of guy who can carry you, literally, through a couple of games in a series. You're getting Denver right here at 12-1. Right? Finally, the last pick. This team really impresses me, but they're a long shot. No one knows who they are. But yet they're hanging. They are hanging against teams like the Boston Celtics. And yes, Houston, I'm talking about you. I got the Houston Rockets at ridiculous odds, like 30-1 or more. And I thought, you know what? I'd rather use the money I won in the championship series in the NFL on these picks, on my basketball strategy. So later in the year, I'll have an opportunity to hedge, do whatever I need to do to be on both sides of the play. So to sum up this video, having been knocked on the knuckles by Pat Mahomes in more than one Super Bowl, having watched, in my opinion, a better Philadelphia Eagle team lose to Pat Mahomes in a Super Bowl, and then watch a better 49er team lose to Pat Mahomes, recognizing that until now, the standard for a quarterback in a Super Bowl was to make it to 4 Super Bowls. Right? Terry Bradshaw, Joe Montana, right? Outside of Tom Brady. Understand, Pat Mahomes is a young guy still. He's about to play in his 5th Super Bowl. Right? When I see Pat Mahomes without Travis Kelce put up more than 30 points, right? Travis is on the field. Travis is contained. Look closely at that box score. Right? And let's just say Pat's hitting Brown, Worthy, Kareem Hunt is, making things happen. Pat's doing it with a patched up team, coupled with a dominant defense. I'm not going to mess with Kansas City. Right? Take a hard look at Pat's record indoors. Right? This is like Jordan back in the day, where your only question in judging an NBA Finals was, is Jordan healthy? right? This is like back in the day when you asked, what future should I take on the NL Cy Young? And then you realized you only had one question. Is Randy Johnson healthy? Right? This is like now. Right now, where you're thinking, NL MVP, is Ohtani healthy? Right? Pat Mahomes has set up the equation here as he goes for a three-peat. Think about how preposterous that is. Right? The Steel Curtain in the 70s didn't get a three-peat. The 49ers in the 80s didn't get a three-peat. The Dallas Cowboys in the 90s didn't get a three-peat. The Patriots never got a three-peat. Here is Pat, still a young guy. He's going for a three-peat. Right? Mahomes has set up the equation of, are you really going to bet against Pat Mahomes in a Super Bowl? Right? I mean, you tell me, how with these players, how with Philly averaging what it just averaged per rushing play against the team they faced, right? The Washington Commanders. How could they possibly be an underdog in this Super Bowl? Then you understand they're playing against Pat Mahomes, right? In recognition of Pat Mahomes, I'm not taking a point spread play in this Super Bowl. I'm deploying the money elsewhere. That's how I see it. Know when to say when. I'm saying when here. That's how I see it. Let me hear from you. Whatever thoughts you have on a side, a prop, a money line, a teaser. Tell us about it in the comment section of this YouTube video. Thanks for stopping by.